Harry, how popular has black powder shooting become in America?
It's becoming more popular every year. I think right now there's probably 500,000 people in the United States shoot black powder.
I said we were going to learn from the best, and we're here with 30-year veteran of black powder shooting, Dennis Tognetti. And Dennis, I didn't get dressed up like this for nothing, so why don't you show us the fine points of loading a muzzle loader? Okay. What's the first thing you start out with?
Well, first thing what we do is we want to make sure that the bore is clean of oil from the last time we either shot or cleaned the weapon.
So you clean the gun first
Right.
before you shoot it?
Yes, this
Well,
is
that's a new one.
Well, actually what you're doing is making sure there's no obstructions at the bottom of the barrel. Next thing you do is get out a powder measure, because you always load from your horn to your powder measure in your safety pick. The old days, they used to put it in the palm of their hand,
Right.
dump it down the barrel.
I used to see them on the old movies,
right.
you know, where they just
No
pour
way.
it. They don't do that.
No, you don't do
So
it
this
that
is
way.
a safety factor
Yes,
here.
yes it is. And plus you get an accurate load every time when you measure. Okay, now put the spout back into the powder horn due to the fact that you don't want a spark to get into that horn when you're firing. And I'll put the powder down the barrel. Okay, now I'm bringing up my block. Have my short starter, which I just took out of my pouch. Insert it into the bullet and push down.
Now that patch helps keep the ball in place inside the barrel,
Yes,
right?
it does. It also fits into the riflings. The actual ball does not fit into the riflings. The patch does. In other words, it's the proper size of ball and patch.
So it's like a wad.
Yeah, well, it's not a wad per se. It actually wraps around the ball, so the ball makes connection with all the riflings.
Oh, I see.
Okay, and also works as a gasket.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I've often wondered about that.
Right.
You know, when guys tip their guns down on a like this, you know, I always thought that the ball would fall
No,
out.
definitely won't
so
do that.
that's that.
Okay, now the reason why we use the short star is it's very difficult at this angle to be putting the ball in the barrel.
Right.
This way you have a good 6 inches to start.
Okay.
And drive the ball down the barrel.
All the way down.
All the way down. Onto the powder. So it's very important to do that. Take it out. You notice how that bounced because it's telling you that it's definitely a tight fit at the bottom.
You know, what do you do?
Now, bring the rifle up for ignition. Now, the ignition, in this case, is a flintlock. I'm wiping off the frizzen and the flint from, let's say, the last shot. It has buildup on it. And I like to make sure that's clean so I get a good ignition on the next shot. I use what they call a vent pick to clean the vent to make sure I can get a good ignition from the pan to the charge. Now, I have a priming horn here, which has number 4F powder in it, which is called priming powder. And I will now prime the pan. The idea now is to close the frizzen, and the gun is ready to fire. And the object of the frizzen is to get a spark from the flint. So when you cock the rifle, the flint will scrape the frizzen, gathering a piece of metal, hot metal, off the frizzen, and drop it in the pan for ignition.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
That
Not
was
bad
great.
at all.
That was great. Precaution and safety is very important in black powder shooting. If you're going to participate in this sport, make sure that you go to an expert to learn how to load and fire them. A few more weeks of practice and I'll be able to take you on that wild pig hunt.